Let us begin chapter 10. That is the first chapter of the civics, Union Legislature. The Union Legislature in India is called a parliament. The term legislature has been derived from the Latin word lex, which means a distinct kind of legal rule, mainly of general application. This rule is named legislation, and the institution which enacts it on behalf of the people is known as legislature. Essentially, there are two models of legislative structure, the parliamentary and the presidential. In the parliamentary model, the executive is selected by the legislature from among its own members. Therefore, the executive is responsible to the legislature. In parliamentary model, the executive is selected by the legislature from among its own members. So the executive is responsible to the legislature. The presidential system is based on theory of separation of powers and does not permit any person to serve simultaneously in both executive and legislature. India has adopted the parliamentary system. The presidential system exists in USA, Union Legislature. Under the provision of Article 79 of the Constitution of India, the Parliament of India consists of the President and the two houses, the lower house or Lok Sabha, House of the People, and upper house or Rajya Sabha, Council of the States. The Parliament of India consists of the President and the two houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The President. While the American President is not a part of the legislature, that is Congress, the President of India is an integral part of Indian Parliament. However, he cannot sit and participate in the deliberations of any of the two houses. President's legislative powers can be summarized as follows. He can summon or prorogue the Parliament, means he can call the sessions of the Parliament or discontinue the sessions of the Parliament and dissolve the Lok Sabha. He can also summon a joint sitting of both the houses of Parliament. Second, he can address the Parliament at the commencement of the first session after each general election and the first session of each year. He can send messages to the houses of Parliament, whether with respect to bill pending in the Parliament or otherwise. Fourth, he can appoint any member of the Lok Sabha to preside over its proceedings when the offices of both the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker fall vacant. Similarly, he can also appoint any member of the Rajya Sabha to preside over its proceedings when the offices of both the Chairman and the Deputy Chairman fall vacant. Fifth, he nominates 12 members of the Rajya Sabha from among the persons having special knowledge or practical experience in respect of literature, science, art and social services. He nominates 12 members to the Rajya Sabha. Sixth, he can nominate 2 members to the Lok Sabha from the Anglo-Indian community. He can nominate 2 members to the Lok Sabha from the Anglo-Indian community. He decides on questions as to disqualification of members of the Parliament in consultation with the Election Commission. 8. His prior recommendation or permission is needed to introduce certain types of bills in the Parliament. For example, a bill involving expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India and a bill for the alteration of the boundaries of the states or creation of the new states in India. When a bill is sent to the President after it has been passed by the Parliament, he can A. give his assent to the bill, or B. withhold his assent to the bill, or C. return the bill if it is not a money bill for reconsideration of the Parliament. However, if the bill is passed again by the Parliament with or without amendments, the President has to give his assent to the bill. It should be noted here that the President has no veto power in respect of Constitutional Amendment Bill. The 24th Amendment, made in 1971, made it obligatory for the President to give his assent to a Constitutional Amendment Bill. 10th, when a bill passed by the state legislature is reserved by the governor for consideration of the President can A. give his assent to the bill, or B. withhold his assent to the bill, or C. direct the governor to return the bill if it is not a money bill for reconsideration of the state legislature. It should be noted here that it is not obligatory for the President to give his assent even if the bill is again passed by the state legislature and sent again to him for his consideration. Thus, the President enjoys absolute veto power over the state bills. He can promulgate ordinances when the Parliament is not in session. These ordinances must be approved by the Parliament within 6 weeks from its reassembly. He can also withdraw an ordinance at any time. 12th, he lays the reports of the Comptroller and Auditor General, Union Public Service Commission, Finance Commission and others before the Parliament. He can make regulations for the peace, progress and good government of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. In case of Puducherry also, the President can legislate by making regulations, but only when the assembly is suspended or dissolved.